Well, Sixers Nation, it's been a long, non-drama filled off season. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of storylines, but not really a lot of action for once in our lives. Nonetheless, we pushed through. We made it. We are here, and I am pumped. It all gets underway tomorrow, man. Let's go.
Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Philly Take with RB, number one show, providing the passion to the fans, always breaking it all down. You know what to do. Hit that like button for your boy, man. Subscribe to the show right now. Be sure to double check you're subscribed and hit the bell. That way you don't miss any of the upcoming videos or live streams. I'm so hyped, man. We are back, and man, it should be a special season, and we will be breaking it all down tomorrow. We get underway, Sixers Media Day at 10 a.m., We'll have a show at some point breaking all that down. And then each day this week, training camp, looking at the ins and outs, just getting all that in-depth analysis and coverage. And then we get into the preseason. So it's all about the ramp up. Sixers basketball is back. And man, I could not be more excited. And I want to talk about today whether this is a championship or bust season, just kind of, lead into it a little bit. Couple pieces of news that I want to hint on. But first and foremost, I really just want to say I appreciate each and every person out there who has supported the show, who continues to support the vision. This is going to be my third full season, independently covering this team, I guess, just trying to create something here. And man, I mean, going from not really having much of a direction, and now we're just continuing to build on it. And really, the people that make it happen are you, every single one of you that continue to support the show and just, really provide a lot of support on the content, man. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I hope that we can take this to another level this season. So shout out to everybody out there rocking with the show, man. And hey, be sure you're following on Instagram as well at Philly Take with RB. Follow me on Twitter as well at RB Philly Take. But anyway, the first piece of news that we need to hit on is this whole Jay Crowder thing. Just came out a little while ago, actually. And I know I've reiterated this like 4 times now, so I'm not going to continue to say the same thing. But man, this would be special. This would be awesome if the Sixers could somehow get involved in the mix here and try to stir something up. Shams put this out a little while ago. The Phoenix Suns and Jay Crowder have now mutually agreed that the vet forward will not participate in training camp as the sides work together on a trade. So it is official. Jay Crowder wants out of Phoenix. They want him out, whatever the case may be. Jay Crowder is going to end up on another squad. I already talked countless times about why I think he would be a good fit here. Hopefully we can get involved in the mix and let's complete the dog squad, man. Let's bring this guy to Philadelphia if possible. I know Morey will do the due diligence. The next thing that I want to quickly touch on is an article that came out earlier today. Keith Pompey, puts a quote from Doc Rivers. Apparently there's a lot of hype on Matisse Thybulle. It's a guy who we, have really not talked about much this offseason. He's kind of went under the radar, and this is what Doc Rivers had to say about him. Quote, "I couldn't be happier in the way Tease has attacked this summer. He's been one of our hardest workers. He's worked both on the things we needed him to work on the floor and on his body and strength." And then also a quote from Daryl Morey, who talks about Matisse, and he says, "Matisse has been the most consistent player in Camden this summer." The most consistent. Wow, putting in countless hours on his game that will for sure pay dividends going forward. That's a lot of praise from our GM. We are excited about his future. All right, so yeah, we know this is kind of a make or break year, right, for Matisse Thybulle. I mean, let's be honest about it. Let's not sugarcoat it here. You're going into your 4th year in the league, and, you've hit a point where you kind of regressed a little bit at the end of last year. You haven't really made that stride, that jump. Right. And you were here for the whole, Ben Simmons thing. You saw how that played out by not really working on your offensive game. We need a different version of Matisse Thybulle. This was a 1st-round pick that you invested, assets to get. And, you made that draft night trade and just a lot of stuff. This kid looked like he was ahead of his years. But, as things go on, right, time catches up to you. You have to continue to improve. And I was a big Thybulle guy, but this is a big prove it year. He's going to be looking for a contract extension. That should also be motivation for him to continue to get better and work on his game. Now, it's good that Doc Rivers, Daryl Morey are saying things like this. I want to see it in the game. Will Thybulle come out? Even if he's not hitting his shots, will he continue to shoot the ball? Will he let whatever it is, go and just continue to try to get better, and let it fly, man, and just become a smarter player. I know he can cut to the basket. I know he can get involved in different ways. Even the defensive side took a little bit of a hit last year because he was getting in foul trouble. Like, he just needs to take that curve and become a smarter player and get better, especially on the offensive end. It's something we will need because, as we know best, when we get to the playoffs, you can't have guys in there that are offensive liabilities completely. So, hey, I like the praise. I like that they said he's been in there all summer, so we will wait and see. But I hope Matisse Thybulle brings another element to this team. I think if he could be that quality 3-and-D player, we would hope, or expect, I guess, him to turn into when we drafted him. That would be a huge step for this team. That could be another contributor, but we will wait and see. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is just the Sixers championship hopes. Shout out to our photographer. Always does great work. Look at this picture, man, of James Harden and Allen Iverson, like that mural. And then, we also got Tyrese Maxey here working. Just the training camp photos, coverage, and all. It's going to be awesome. We will be taking a look at it each and every day. Maxey looks bigger as well. Harden looks to be in shape. I'm loving it, man. I mean, look, everybody is motivated. That's been the common theme of this offseason, motivation, right? This is a real opportunity for everyone to put it together and go out there and win, right? And have a great year. And now you look at, for example, what's going on with the Boston Celtics. Like, they may take a little bit of a dip. If there is a year for the Sixers to finally get over that hump, it is this year. But the main question is this a championship or bust type of season for the Philadelphia 76ers? Let me know. What do you think? Drop a comment down below. Is this championship or bust? My personal opinion is that this is Eastern Conference Finals or bust. I'm not going to say it's championship or bust because I still think, James Harden, Joel Embiid, they have years left in them, right? But we have seen now for 4 or 5 years, like, we have gotten to that point, we can't get over the hump. And now you have an entire offseason for everybody to mesh, all the chemistry to come together, right? You're hoping to get a better version of James Harden. You're expecting Maxey to continue to develop and be a smarter player. You're expecting now, with all these dogs that you added, right? Just everything to come together and complement it all. And Joel Embiid is going to continue to get better. There was even a post like yesterday or the day before, I saw Drew Hanlon just put a picture on Twitter of Joel Embiid working on his handles, and he said, the best continues to get better. Like, that is incredible. And I think now is the time for everything to come together. Do I have questions? Yes. Are there things we still need to wait and see? Yes. But this, in my opinion, like I've said, is the most polished I've seen a team for the Sixers coming into the season. And I think if everything goes according to plan, we should be able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Am I crazy for thinking that? I think you have to get to the third round. And if you do not, major changes will have to be made. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it may look like at this point in time. It's very early. But, man, we've seen this progression. And we're not getting any younger with guys like Joel Embiid or James Harden. This is the time. They need it for their own careers as well. But as a team, as a fan base, as an organization, everything we've been through, I think it is Eastern Conference Finals or bust. There is literally no more excuses. You were lacking in certain areas. Daryl Morey went out, had a phenomenal offseason and addressed those areas. Sure, you can make some renovations as you go on and make some adjustments, during the season, but this squad is polished. There's no reason they should not be a top 3 team in the East and be able to move far in the playoffs. So I think this is the year it all has to come together. Now, obviously, you got to hope they stay healthy. That's one of the main concerns, and that is definitely a question mark. But if they do, there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get past where we have the last couple seasons based on everything that's happened. I mean, we've been there. We've been deep in the second round, even given some of the flaws we had as a team. So I think this is the year, and if you're going to do it, it has to be now. It has to be now. This is the season. Everybody is anticipating a lot of success. What will Doc Rivers be like this year? Will he make the correct adjustments? What will his personality be like, right? Like, are these guys bought in? We will see all of it. Now adding this depth, will they step up? How about some of these guys that have lingered for some years? There's a lot of storylines to look at with this team, but when you go out and you add these players, and even late in free agency, you go out, a couple weeks ago, you add Montrezl Harrell. Everybody in this organization is pushing all the chips in. This is where it needs to happen. And I just think, getting over that threshold of the second round would be a huge success for this team, and it would lead us in the right direction. But those are just my thoughts. I will keep the rest for the rest of this week, man. I hope to see everybody coming out. Like I said, we will be, either dropping a video or going live every single day to break down all of the coverage that you need to hear. I'm very excited to hear what Daryl Morey, Doc Rivers, and the rest of the crew have to say tomorrow. And with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you for constantly tuning in and supporting the show. If you have not yet, be sure to like this, subscribe to the show, hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of the coverage. We will continue to break it all down. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Have a great night, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect.